It's the middle of a busy shift in the emergency department. Monitors are beeping, patients are waiting, and suddenly a nurse calls you urgently. "Doctor, this patient doesn't look right." You walk over. The patient looks pale, sweaty. He says he feels dizzy, like he might faint. You check the monitor, and immediately something stands out. The heart rate is slow, very slow. But it's not just bradycardia. There's something unusual about the rhythm. It's steady, almost too steady. You look closer at the ECG, and then you notice it. The P waves don't look normal. At that moment, you realize this is not just a slow heart. This is a heart that has lost control and is now relying on its backup system to survive. This is an escape rhythm, and today, we're going to break down everything you need to know to recognize it instantly, understand what it means, and act before it's too late. Let's start with the basics. Because to understand escape rhythms, you need to understand how the heart normally works. Under normal conditions, the heart is controlled by a single dominant pacemaker, the sinoatrial node, often called the SA node. This tiny cluster of cells in the right atrium is responsible for generating electrical impulses, 60 to 100 times per minute. Every beat begins here. From the SA node, the impulse spreads across the atria, creating the P wave. Then it reaches the atrioventricular node, where it pauses briefly, before traveling down the Purkinje system, and finally activating the ventricles, producing the QRS complex. The system is precise, efficient, and perfectly coordinated. But what happens when this system fails? What happens when the SA node slows down or stops completely? The heart has a backup plan. Built into its very design, secondary pacemakers, hidden deeper within the conduction system, waiting silently, ready to take over when needed. This is where escape rhythms come in. Escape rhythms occur when a lower pacemaker takes control because the higher pacemaker has failed. It's not abnormal behavior, it's survival. It's the heart refusing to stop. There are three main types of escape rhythms. Each one depends on how far down the conduction system the backup pacemaker is located. Atrial escape rhythm, junctional escape rhythm, and ventricular escape rhythm. And as we move lower, the situation becomes more serious. Let's start with the first one, atrial escape rhythm. Imagine the SA node is slowing down, maybe due to increased vagal tone, maybe due to medications, or early sinus node dysfunction, before the heart rate drops too low. Another focus in the atria steps in. Not the SA node, but somewhere else in the atrial tissue. This new pacemaker starts firing and takes control of the rhythm. On ECG, you will still see P waves, but they won't look normal. They may be inverted, flattened, or have a completely different shape, because they are originating from a different part of the atrium. The heart rate is usually between 60 and 100 beats per minute. The rhythm is regular, and each P wave is followed by a normal QRS complex. This is atrial escape rhythm. It's subtle, easy to miss, and often mistaken for normal sinus rhythm. But if you look closely at the P wave morphology, you'll see the difference. In many cases, atrial escape rhythm is benign. It simply reflects a temporary slowdown of the SA node, and often requires no treatment. But it's still important, because it tells you something about the underlying conduction system. Now let's move deeper. Junctional escape rhythm. Here the problem is more significant. The SA node has either failed or its impulses are not reaching the ventricles. So the atrioventricular junction takes over. This area has its own intrinsic pacemaker, but it fires at a slower rate, usually between 40 and 60 beats per minute. Now look at the ECG. This is where things get interesting. P waves may be absent, or inverted, or they may appear after the QRS complex. Why? Because the impulse is traveling in reverse, from the AV node upward into the atria, instead of downward from the SA node. This retrograde activation produces inverted P waves, especially in the inferior leads. The QRS complexes remain narrow, because ventricular conduction is still using the normal pathways. Junctional escape rhythm is more serious than atrial escape, but many patients remain stable. However, it is often a warning sign that the heart's primary pacemaker is no longer functioning properly. Now, we go to the most critical level, ventricular escape rhythm. This is the heart's last resort. When both the SA node and AV node fail, the ventricles are forced to take control. But ventricular cells are not designed to be pacemakers. They fire very slowly, usually between 20 and 40 beats per minute. On ECG, the findings are dramatic. There are no preceding P waves. The QRS complexes are wide and bizarre in appearance because the impulse spreads slowly through muscle instead of the specialized conduction system. This is a dangerous rhythm. Cardiac output drops significantly. Blood pressure falls, and the brain may not receive enough blood flow. Patients may present with dizziness, syncope, or even cardiac arrest. Now let's simplify everything. Because in real life, you don't have time to analyze every detail. Think of three key features: heart rate, P waves, and QRS width. Atrial escape rhythm, heart rate closer to normal. Abnormal P waves, narrow QRS. Junctional escape rhythm, heart rate slower. P waves absent or inverted. Narrow QRS. Ventricular escape rhythm, very slow heart rate, no P waves, wide QRS complexes. If you remember this pattern, you can identify escape rhythms in seconds. Now, let's talk about causes. Because escape rhythms don't happen randomly. They are almost always a sign of an underlying problem. Common causes include sinus node dysfunction, high-grade AV block, myocardial ischemia, electrolyte imbalances, and drug toxicity. Medications like beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, and digoxin can suppress the normal pacemakers, allowing escape rhythms to emerge. Severe hypoxia can also depress the conduction system, triggering these rhythms. Now comes the most important part, management. And this is where many people make a critical mistake. They see an abnormal rhythm and immediately try to suppress it. But remember this, escape rhythms are not the enemy. They are the rescue system. If you suppress an escape rhythm without fixing the underlying problem, you may remove the heart's only remaining pacemaker, and that can be catastrophic. So what should you do? First, assess the patient. Not just the ECG. If the patient is stable, focus on identifying the cause. Review medications, correct electrolytes, treat ischemia, improve oxygenation. In many cases, the normal rhythm will return on its own. But if the patient is unstable, this becomes an emergency. Signs of instability include hypotension, altered mental status, chest pain, or signs of shock. In these cases, you need to act fast. Atropine may help, especially in junctional rhythms. If that fails, you may need transcutaneous pacing, or even transvenous pacing, particularly in ventricular escape rhythms. Because at that point, the heart cannot sustain adequate circulation on its own. So remember this, escape rhythms are life-saving rhythms. They appear when everything else fails. They are the heart's final attempt to keep you alive. So let's bring it all together. Escape rhythms occur when lower pacemakers take over. There are three types: atrial, junctional, and ventricular. They differ based on heart rate, P wave appearance, and QRS width. And most importantly, they are not the problem. They are a sign of a deeper issue. The real danger is missing what caused them. Because sometimes the ECG is not just showing you a rhythm, it's telling you that the heart is running out of options. And recognizing that can make the difference between life and death. If you found this explanation helpful, make sure to like the video and leave a comment below. We read your feedback closely, and it directly influences the future content. Tell us which ECG rhythm you want next. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We have a whole series of ECG interpretations for every ECG rhythm out there. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.